once again, we are back. It is Nerdly Out Loud, Nerdly TV, nerdly.co.uk, and we're still at the... I should do that every time.
Yeah,
I should do that.
Got nerdy. Come on.
That's going to be my new thing. We are still at the Romford Film Festival. We are happy to be inside you, Romford, as usual. We are talking to director and actor, and what was your part on this? Sorry, costume. Nice. Of a short movie called Spin, a fantastic short movie called Spin, I may add. Would you like to go along the line? Tell us who you are and what you did on this movie.
Where do you want to start?
Oh, you created it.
Okay, you can start with you. We'll go in a nice little line. Okay, no, we won't. Hi, my name is Wura Alabi. So I'm the writer and director of Spin. I also acted in Spin, which somehow I conveniently forget, but I did act in it as well.
I'm Mary, Lucas-Afolalu. I was the costume designer.
Yeah.
I'm
sure.
I had like a tiny little role at the end as
Yeah,
well.
you did a little cameo in there. Yeah.
Go have a cameo.
Got it.
Hi, I'm Samuel Adewunmi, and I am one of the actors in Spin.
Awesome. So we're going to get into Spin in a quick second, but I want to jump back a little bit, and this is for all three of you, really. How did you make your way into this industry, and why filmmaking?
So for me, I also have like a semi-academic background, but I have an academic background as well. So I studied at university, I studied pharmacy as well, but I do also work as a pharmacist. But alongside that, I was going to drama school, and then from drama school, I started writing for theatre. From theatre, I then decided to shoot a film on my phone with a bunch of my friends, and actually Mary, instead of doing costume, although she did do costume on that, but she also served as the cinematographer, held the camera, and we shot a film, managed to get that into a couple of film festivals, and from that's how we've kind of gotten to make this short film all together. So that's kind of been our journey into this, for me anyway.
And was that Squeeze?
No, Squeeze was something that I acted in way back when, which was really fun. I worked with a bunch of like really great filmmakers who just wanted to create something. That was back in 2013, so actually before I even went to university. But I shot something called Cuckoo Chick. So that was a film that I wrote and directed and acted in as well.
Awesome. And yourself, how did you obviously knew each other, and how did you come into all the costume design?
I think in terms of like costume and fashion and clothing, so I've been in, I guess, the fashion industry for a while now. I studied fashion for like years and years. I'm actually like doing my master's now, and then this wonderful opportunity came about, and so I was like, yeah, absolutely, why not? Yeah.
And where are you studying? I know, but I just want to say
Royal College of Art.
Yeah, flex.
Yeah, exactly.
I was short of my journey, but I was kind of academic as well, and then not to her level though, not to like becoming a pharmacist. Shout out Tom, who's also a pharmacist. Off camera there. I was in college, and I just decided that I think acting was like something that I really loved and wanted to pursue. Got into it, went to a drama school, and started sort of building a career from there. But coming into this film, I met Presh at an acting class that a good friend of ours runs called Go Hub Workshop, and Precious was an amazing actor. Jazz, my friend who runs the workshop, had told me about Precious. I saw her, I was like, she's so cool. And then we became friends, and she had a script called Spin that I read, and I just thought was amazing. She actually just asked me to read it, and I read it, and I was like, I really want to do it. And then she was like, okay, yeah, you can do it. I think it was like a mini sort of audition thing, and then I was like, yeah, you can. And then later on, she told me that I was like actually always the actor that she wanted to do.
She says that now.
I know, right?
It all worked out, so she.
Confident. Yeah.
It's all worked out, so she has to say that. And where did Spin come from? What was the catalyst, the idea for this film?
So I was actually working on a different project at the time, and when I was writing it, it was during the period of like George Floyd and all of these things happening. So I was actually writing in response to that. But the kind of temperature of my friends and the conversations I was having was actually that we were really exhausted of hearing about, Black trauma, and we just wanted to see conversations about Black people living and doing life and those kind of things that we don't get to see, especially in the UK kind of media. So I started writing for that instead, and the seed of it was really just from kind of like my own family who kind of have had those kind of circumstances. Obviously, I was writing it in the middle of the pandemic as well, so the setting was really relevant to that. On my Instagram, I'd seen someone had a kind of illegal little party in a laundrette, and I was like, that would be a great spot for a little date, maybe. And that's kind of just how it sort of spinbled into making Spin.
And then writing these two characters and fleshing these two characters out, what were you drawing on? What was the inspirations for these characters, or was it just people you already kind of knew in your head?
Yeah, so it was seeds of people that I'd already kind of known. They kind of fill in the gaps of these human beings, and I think that's why to me they feel so real. But it was also kind of looking at, I was really interested at the time in attachment theory and anxiety attachment, avoidant attachment, and so trying to understand how those connections make you miss each other sometimes. So I was really trying to unravel that in a conversation between two people in a day. And also I was on Hinge, and I met on Hinge who were quite similar.
And what was it about Zekiel that just sang to you?
He was just like a bit of a weirdo, innit? Like on the page, I couldn't really like. I could see who he was, and those sorts of people in my experience have been quite weird. And so I was just like, that's cool. I want to play someone that's maybe confident and doesn't know how to necessarily express how he feels. And then having spoken to Precious more about the character, well, I got even more excited. I was like, oh, so this was your idea of him, and just trying to incorporate that into a performance, I thought was really cool. I just thought it was a well-written story. Yeah. It's a cool place to go for a date. Like, why not?
So yeah, the funny thing is, it is.
Isn't it?
it's an
retro, isn't it?
It's an awesome setting, and it's something that, like, I think until you put it on the screen there, I would never thought about it. And it just, the aesthetic and the whole, it's kind of set on a spin cycle, so it's almost like speed dating, but not quite. If you know what I mean. I did like that vibe. And was that always the intention? Just like, this is where we're in.
Yeah, 100%. That was always the intention. I think finding the right location was so important to me. The film was obviously called Spin with brackets, and like the whole cyclic nature of it, the circles of the laundrette was super important to me, because I wanted to tell this film that's about like the cycles of relationships and how we kind of ebb and flow and dip in and out of different relationships, and the similarities between the different ones we're getting into and the next one that we're going into, and the way we're taking baggage from a previous relationship into the next one. I wanted to explore that. So I remember we looked at a bunch of different laundrettes, and there was even one that had like square laundry doors. I was just like, it doesn't work, it doesn't make sense. And eventually we found this one. It was just so beautiful, really reflective, which makes it so difficult to film and not catch like, bits of your cameraman or whatever in the background. But we eventually found this one, and it was just amazing for the shoot.
And it's a superbly written script, as you said before. Like, I think your dialogue is just, it's flawless in a way. Like, it just flows nicely, and I think a lot of that is to do with the chemistry as well. Was it collaborative in a way that you could throw things in yourself as well, or was the director just like, nah, that's not the line?
It's a hard ass, man.
That's not the line. Say it right.
Yeah, no, actually, it was a very collaborative process. I think obviously because we'd met each other as actors as well, there was an appreciation for, or at least from my part anyway, there's an appreciation for what Precious can bring to the table off of like a script, or how Precious can bring a script to alive. So I think there was a mutual appreciation of what we could both do, and so yeah, there was a lot of space to sort of play. And again, because our friend, the guy who runs Go Hub Workshop as well, he has like a space, so we had time to also like rehearse with one another and sort of work it out. So yeah, it felt just very
it doesn't feel rehearsed.
That was what was so fun about the rehearsal. We were always trying. Precious was always throwing different things in and saying, do it like this, even though it doesn't read like that on the page. We got to see what it would look like on sort of all spectrums and all levels. So it was fun. And then when it came to the day, it was just like play, see what happens, see what you can do. Yeah.
And how long was the shooting process?
So it was a 2-day shoot, which was really tight for what we were doing. And I remember on the first day, we got what we needed in the bag. I was like, yeah, great, we're on track. And by the second day, I was like, I don't know if we're going to get everything. This film is not going to make any sense. But luckily, we managed to get it all in. So yeah, I was happy with that.
Where are you taking us for the next date?
Where am I taking us for the next date? We'll have to wait and see.
So are we getting a next date?
I mean, well, who knows?
Like spin 2? Rinse?
See, a lot of people rinse. There's so many different stages to be in the wash cycle. This is such a great idea.
Quick dry?
I like that. Quick one.
All right, go for it. Go for it. I mean, you can have that idea, by the way.
Thank you.
But apart from that, what is everyone actively working on as well? You got any other projects that you're working on you can tell us about?
Cool, what's up for me? So yeah, at the moment, I'm working on a few things, but I think the one that I'm really excited about is a stop motion animation that I'm working on.
Nice.
It's such a completely different field than I've worked in, but I really love to experiment, and I'm really excited for it. So yeah, that's what I've got cooking at the moment.
Awesome. Yourself?
Yeah, I've got a couple of projects lined up. I'm shooting something at the moment called Queenie. That's kind of it. I've got something else coming up soon, but
that's totally fine.
Yeah,
totally fine.
Yeah.
Just trying to get through my masters at this point.
You have the show as well.
Yeah. In June we have our end of year exhibition, so that's something to look forward to. Yeah.
What do you hope when audiences see Spin up on the screen and when they're leaving the cinema? What do you hope people take from it?
That's such a great question. It's crazy because when you watch films, you think that the filmmaker's got everything figured out in some weird kind of way. And what I would really love for people to get out of it is methods of communication, really listen to each other and really hear each other. But I know that that's a big flaw that I have as well, in my relationships. So making sure that I'm really listening as I should do. Is something that I want to work on myself. So I guess I want people to communicate well. I want people to have space and give room to people, understand that people come with baggage and people come with their own personal experiences, but that doesn't mean that we can't fit in with each other and love on each other. So yeah.
On that as well, understanding other people, your turn at the end of the movie when you find out about Zekiel's character. I don't want to say it because I want people to watch it. That was tough.
I think a lot of people have spoken to me about the ending, especially the ending sequence and how that's kind of hit them. And I think that's been really important for me because that's the part that kind of gets me as well. So
I think it's because it is a love story. I don't care what you say. Izzy and Zekiel are gonna get together at some point. I'm shipping them. So is there anything in particular that you would like people to take away from your character or from the show?
No, but I don't think it really matters when it comes to me as an actor. I think I'm more playing a part in bringing Precious's story to life. So, if anything, I hope whatever she intends for the audience to leave with is what the audience leave with. You get to serve that story. But I hope they enjoy it. That's what you always try and do, right? You always say people watch something and enjoy it. So take something away, if anything.
So that's what you want us to take away from it. But I want to know what you take away from it. When you sat out there in the cinema today, watching it on the big screen, any creative can tell me what was wrong with the shot, days that were hard, shoots, dialogue that didn't quite go right. What went absolutely spot on that you saw up on the screen and you just think we smashed that day?
I really enjoy the way that their relationship sort of becomes really familiar between Izzy and Zekiel. How they're first sort of missing one another, and there's just a moment where I think they decide to just accept one another for who they are and just take themselves in and not take themselves too seriously. And I think that's really cool. I think they've got a really good chemistry. I think they got on really well, and like you said, I think it is a love story.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. I mean, and who knows where that love story can go? You know, yeah. I like the way they go on.
Just next time, take it at Nando's. Come on,
It
somewhere.
was COVID.
Somewhere.
Can I say that?
Take us somewhere decent.
Spoiler alert. Sorry. But yeah, it was cool.
And yourself, anything you saw up on the screen, and you just.
No, I just kind of have to reiterate that. To be honest, I think the chemistry was one of the things that I think it just feels really great to watch it and to see that it seems like it materialized from this kind of the page to actually getting to witness it, and just what everyone put into it, what costume put into it, and how dedicated you were to kind of communicating the story through your medium, how dedicated that my DOP was to communicating the story.
Yeah, shout out Carl, man.
Shout out Carl.
Shot really well as well, actually.
Honestly, I didn't know that I was going to be able to get him on this project, and thankfully he stepped in and did incredible. And the same with our sound person, who's called Bianca Baz, who did an exceptional job with the score. Everyone that worked on it, I can't name everybody, but every single person.
I think your editor as well, because there's some gnarly edits in there.
I spent so much time sitting with them. Miriam is their name. She's exceptional, and just really spent a lot of time, crafting everything so beautifully and helping me to shape this project. And just everyone brought decisions.
There's some truly wicked edits in there.
Yeah, it's really smart editing as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to wrap that out now. I'm gonna let you get away now because I know you are trying to leave us, which is a shame. Going for your second date. But so thank you so much for submitting the movie to us. Thank you for letting us show it. Thank you for turning up and coming to do this as well. It's absolutely brilliant. I know it's a short that we all really enjoyed on the panel, so it was great to get it up there on the screen. Just let people know where they can find you, find any other works, find any projects, social media, whatever. Just plug yourself for a couple of seconds. It's up to you.
Okay, so for me, you can find me at fatankle.alabi. I forgot my name, but that's FAT and then ankle.alabi, which is on Instagram. That is the name. I will probably change it soon because it doesn't make much sense. But that is currently my Instagram name, fatanka.alabi. And from there you can find a bunch of the team that have been tagged in all of our posts as well.
Awesome.
And obviously.
Oh right.
Say yours as well.
So mine is Mary, and then Mary, and then Evan, EBUN. Yeah, just nice and simple. Or you can, if you want to catch me, on the 1st and 2nd of July, I will be at Battersea, Royal College of Art. That's where my exhibition is.
Awesome.
Nice.
And I'll be at Samuel Adewunmi on Instagram. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my Instagram's really plain. So I'll plug it, but there's nothing for you to see that.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry. I mean, who really wants to be on Instagram? Yeah. Anyway, so thank you guys for coming. It's awesome to see you all.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's no problem. It's been brilliant.